Good morning, everyone. We are glad you have joined us for the 6th annual and first virtual HBCUgrow Lead Conference and Awards. My name is Mark Newman, and I'm the Vice President of Advancement, Economic Development, and Research at Grambling State University, and proud to say I'm a member of the HBCUgrow Advisory Board. This year's conference theme is the intersection of business and education, which relates to something that I do every day and something that's so important for all of our campuses. It relates to building stronger partnerships between our universities and the corporate world so that one day true diversity, inclusion, and equity will be a reality, and we'll have those very precious internship and job opportunities for our students. These past few months and weeks have been very trying for our country, our schools, businesses, and each of us personally. You have all been put under tremendous stress to migrate to a distance learning model and to do things in a new way. We appreciate everyone taking time to join us for this important discussion. We have amazing speakers and panelists lined up. I hope everyone is able to take away valuable tips to implement immediately on their campuses about partnerships and the way they benefit your students, your faculty, your entire campus community. First and foremost, with any conference, we want to thank our sponsors. Virginia Union University. We were supposed to be in Richmond today at their beautiful living and learning complex. We thank Virginia Union for stepping up and implore everyone to make sure they take time to visit that beautiful campus. Military Learners Now is an enrollment management program for HBCUs and MSIs with the Department of Defense. Military Learners Now uses the voluntary education program to enroll more active and reserve duty military and their families. This is above and beyond the GI Bill. The funded pilot program will allow 3 HBCUs to participate at no cost. Vitalink, which is a founding partner of HBCUgrow, offers purpose-driven and branded marketing in the higher education space with strong experience branding and marketing HBCUs. Andy Sites is also a founding partner and offers friendly website design for universities, community colleges, and other organizations. Universal Printing is the third founding partner, offering multi-channel personalized marketing and printing tools. Boston & Associates is a talent management consulting firm with an emphasis on inclusion and diversity, consulting, executive coaching, performance improvement consulting, sales process improvement, and career transition services. And finally, the Gary Flowers Show. Gary Flowers commands the airways as a fierce analyst and advocate and activist on WREJ in Richmond, Virginia. He is a loyal HBCU supporter. Finally, we want to thank our 2019-2020 HBCUgrow Advisory Board for their time and effort in planning HBCUgrow, the lead conference this year. We appreciate those board members. If you're interested in becoming a board member, please check out HBCUgrow at hbcugrow.com. Now it's time for our first panel. Some of you may have heard about the partnership between Johnson C. Smith University and Red Ventures. Today, the partners join us to share how the program is working and what makes it unique, what makes it work. Joining us today to present Building Equity in Business Partnerships are Dr. Laura Colson McLean, who's the Dean of Johnson C. Smith's Metropolitan College of Professional Studies, which is their adult degree program. The program is known for strengthening the adult degree program's culture of connection and engagement. Under her leadership, Metropolitan College of Professional Studies has initiated e-learning, bachelor's degree programs, expanded offerings and certification programs for non-native speakers of English, and established the Veterans Hub, an academic and support services network for military students and their families. She was also instrumental in building the partnership with Red Ventures. Carla Moore is a community engagement associate with Road to Hire, a nonprofit hosted by Red Ventures, which offers paid professional training and mentorship to undeserved young adults in the greater Charlotte community. Ms. Kayline Boyer is Executive Director of Road to Hire and a strong advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And finally, and probably most important, are Kiera Thompson and Braxton Gambrell, who are both students at Johnson C. Smith University and enrolled in the program. They'll be able to add their unique perspective about the partnership. And so you'll get a chance to hear from students who are part of the program. Now it's time to turn it over to our speakers. Let's get started building equity and business partnerships.
My name is Carla Moore. I am the Community Engagement Associate for Road to Hire. And during this conversation, we will talk about creative ways to build cross-sector partnerships that help support careers and career readiness and create a diverse talent pool for companies. And we also want to support inclusivity within the workplace. Here with us today, we have individuals from Road to Hire and our JCSU partnership. Could you please all introduce yourselves?
Yes, so as previously stated, my name is Kaylin Boyer. I am Executive Director of Road to Hire, and I focus on our partnerships in the Charlotte community as well as our Johnson C. Smith University Fellowship.
Good morning. I am Dr. Laura Colson-McLean, Dean of Metropolitan College of Professional Studies at Johnson C. Smith University. Within Metropolitan College, I'm responsible for the academic areas, business administration, economics, as well as health and human performance, which comprises our sport management program and public health. And as mentioned previously, responsible for our online learning, as well as certificate programs at the university and the military initiative.
Hello, I'm Braxton Gambrell. I'm a computer engineering major, and I'm a graduating senior from Seneca, South Carolina.
Good morning. I know it says that my name is Braxton Gambrell, but I am Kiera Thompson. I am a graduating senior from Cleveland, Ohio, with a business administration major.
Awesome. Thank you each for introducing yourselves. So let's skip to the other work and let's get down to business and let's jump into this conversation. I'd like to kick off providing our viewers with some background on Johnson C. Smith University and Road to Hire, which will help lay the foundation for what has become a beautiful and great relationship and partnership. So Dean McLean, walk us through a little bit of history on JCSU.
Okay. So those who may not know, Johnson C. Smith University was founded in 1867. It is a private liberal arts university with proud HBCU traditions and a future aimed at diversity. We are located in Charlotte, North Carolina's vibrant core, and JCSU offers a progressive curriculum with 23 degree-seeking programs to close to 1,500 students. We strive to create an enriching environment enabling students to explore and grow intellectually, socially, culturally, and spiritually, developing a sense of social responsibility. Though traditional in nature, our enrollment continues to grow with an emphasis on attracting the non-traditional student in age, as well as non-traditional in admissions pathways. As evidenced today, the university has strong community relationships and strategic partnerships with businesses, corporations, and professional groups, which afford experiential opportunities for our students, leading to employment beyond graduation.
Awesome, awesome. Kaylin, I would love to hear a little bit more about Road to Hire and the history behind that.
Yes. So Road to Hire is a nonprofit based in Charlotte, and the nonprofit is focused on opening alternative pathways to high earning careers, really with a commitment to economic mobility and creating an inclusive work environment. Since launching in 2014, we have impacted over 400 lives. Roughly 80% of our students are from diverse backgrounds. The majority are from the lower socioeconomic population in Charlotte, and roughly 40% are female. Our nonprofit was actually founded by Rick Elias, who is the CEO of Red Ventures. And we have a kind of an interesting story of how we came to be. Back in 2009, Rick was on the airplane that went down in the Hudson River in New York, also known as Miracle on the Hudson. So he walked away from that experience, a completely changed individual, really with a reset on how he wanted to live his life and how he wanted to impact the community. And so as a result of that experience, he started a number of nonprofits, one being Road to Hire. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a focus on promoting economic mobility. And so in 2014, a study came out. Some of you may be familiar with it, but it was called the Chetty study, and it ranked the United States main cities, the top 50 cities by economic mobility. And so Charlotte actually ranked last, 50 out of the 50 cities. And so that was a big wake-up call for the city and the county. And so today, while economic mobility is still at a low point, it's not exactly where we want it to be. The good news is that Charlotte is doing something about it. And there's a commitment that spans across both the public and the private sectors. And so there's really a big momentum at this time amongst the businesses and nonprofits and different community groups. And Road to Hire is actually partnering with a number of businesses in the community, Bank of America, Lowe's, Novant Health, and Red Ventures, to name a few, who are really supporting this mission and aligning with us. So to share a little bit about Road to Hire, we offer paid professional development and technical training to young adults in the community. The only requirement to get into our program is to have a high school diploma or GED equivalent, to be between the ages of 18 and 25, and to have a strong work ethic. And because we want to eliminate as many barriers to entry as we can, we really focus on individuals who have an intellectual curiosity and a drive to learn. So throughout our program, we have 3 different academies, or also known as fellowships. We have our software engineering, our IT desktop support, and our cybersecurity. And so each program runs 6 months. It's full-time, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We include a professional development component as well as a technical component. So it could be learning public speaking, networking, resume building, to the technical side, which is, coding or building computers and breaking them apart, learning how cyber works. We also have a mentorship program that's incorporated into our program, which is really wonderful. And we have over 200 Red Ventures employees who serve as volunteers in a mentorship capacity with our students. So just to kind of wrap up, one of our core beliefs is that everything is written in pencil. And so with that has allowed Road to Hire to be able to adapt to the industry demand and the job need in Charlotte, and looking for creative ways to find alternative pathways into high earning careers.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Caitlin and Dr. McLean. It definitely sounds like JCSU and Road to Hire has a deep commitment, not only with the Charlotte community, but a deep commitment with impacting and empowering your students and making sure that they're ready for the workplace. So with that being said, I would love to talk further about how this partnership came together. So Caitlin, from a Road to Hire and Red Ventures perspective, how did this partnership come to be?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, Rick Elias, who's our founder, also working at Red Ventures, he has really been committed to the community and to finding ways to create partnerships in the community. And so Rick and Johnson C. Smith University President Clarence Armbruster recognized an opportunity to partner and promote upward mobility for young adults, and really committing to inclusivity in the workplace. So their shared focus on preparing high-performing students for the workforce aligned naturally with Road to Hire's mission of opening career pathways for underserved young adults. So Red Ventures' existing partnership with Road to Hire already focuses on individuals from diverse backgrounds, with the majority of our students in the program being people of color, students who may not have equitable access to certain career paths, especially in the tech space. So in joining together with the organization and JCSU, Red Ventures is really supporting college seniors who are focused on career readiness and developing marketable skills after college. So this program really showcases the great talent at HBCUs.
Absolutely. Now, Dean McLean, from a JCSU perspective, when you heard about this partnership potentially happening, like on your end, how did it become a reality to you? And then also just give us a little history behind what you learned about the partnership.
Okay. So President Armbruster asked me to attend a meeting with a fellow dean, Brian Jones, who currently serves as the acting dean of STEM College at JCSU. We met with representatives from Red Venture Road to Hire program. Initially, our partners, of course, were interested in finding students who are majoring in STEM or business. However, as a member of Johnson C. Smith's community for close to 15 years now, I felt it was important for us to think outside of the box and work to expand this opportunity for students in various majors, because many times students may major in one particular area, but they may have talents and interests in other areas. So we felt that this would be a wonderful opportunity to expand to our Rising Seniors campus-wide. So we set out to market and identify seniors for this first of its kind collaboration between the two of us.
That's awesome. So I think you heard from, the outside looking in, the people who actually helped create this particular partnership and program, but it's nothing like hearing from the people who are actually inside the program. So Kiera and Braxton, I would love to hear from your perspective about the program and kind of what made you interested in registering for the class.
So an email was sent through our JCSU mail over the summer, and we get a lot of emails as students. So when I first initially saw the email, I thought that it was a mistake or it wasn't real. So I'm like, okay, if it's real, I'll attend maybe. And then we arrived to campus, and a lot of students were saying that they also received the email and they thought it was fake as well, and they weren't going to go. And then we ran into Dr. McLean, and she heard us talking. She asked us to come here. A lot of students kept walking, but I'm like, I should go over there and listen to what she has to say, because it might change my life, which it actually did. She told me to just come to the meeting and see what they had to say. And from there, things have just been great for me.
Awesome.
And I had read the same email. I was the first one to respond back, actually. And but when it got round to the open house time for it, I was coming late for practice, but I had ran into Carla Moore, and he had gave me the rundown on what to expect from the program and what to receive after the program. And from then, I knew it would be a good partnership.
Awesome. So Kaylin, from the Road to Hire perspective, can you share more about the course and how it's been going from your lens?
Yeah. So it's really been a wonderful experience, just having been there from the very beginning. I remember being at the open house and everyone was curious and excited to learn more about this opportunity. And Rick was there and President Armbruster was there. And so there was a lot of excitement and, just a curiosity about what this partnership could be. And so we, in partnership with JCSU, we created a 3-credit digital marketing course for college seniors. And over the duration of the course, students learn professional development skills, including public speaking, giving and receiving feedback, networking. We also incorporated a deep dive into digital marketing business topics. And that's, really the focus around digital marketing. And so during the fall semester, we covered a broad range of topics. And we really did that because digital marketing is broad, and there are a variety of kind of different pathways that you can go into. And so we really wanted to provide as much information on what that opportunity could look like in the first semester. So we touched on search engine optimization, paid social, native advertising, and the creative process. This semester, we decided that we wanted to be a little bit more specialized in this. And so we focused on 3 main topics: paid media, organic search, and customer experience. And so students who have moved through our program, their focus really has been learning all of the different topics to the best of their abilities, and successfully completing this program with a B or above will lead to full-time employment at Red Ventures beginning this summer as a digital marketing associate.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Dean McLean, from your perspective, how do you think the course is going, and what have you, learned throughout this course so far?
Well, if I can kind of add on and give the academic perspective of how things kind of started, that may give up my colleagues who are joining us some perspective so that they understand the academic side. So in higher education, a lot of times the academic year is already prepared the year before, at least the semester before. And we have to keep in mind when our partners came to us, it was in the summer. So it was a late June, early July, and there is no opportunity better than right then and there to work towards a collaboration that can impact your students for the upcoming semester. So at that time, during the summer, most faculty, of course, were off contract. And our faculty who were working in summer school were about to finish their contracts. And so I had to work to depend on using those colleagues that I knew I had a good rapport with, who would respond to communications from myself. So I reached out to those individuals to get the names of students that they were aware of that we could recommend for this program, because we wanted to make sure it was a success. And we wanted to make sure that we were able to reach the numbers that our partners were willing to have participate in the program for this first offering. Though we wanted to be strategic with selecting students, we also had to remember, as Kiera spoke to, it was the summer. And I don't know at other institutions, but we send our students a whole lot of communications. And if it's the summertime, I know they're definitely not really looking at it. They might peep at it once here or there, but they're not focused on that. But we strategized and we realized students would be looking at email communications from either financial aid, the student accounts office, or the registrar's office. So we took advantage of that focus and we asked the registrar to assist us with sending this communication out about this partnership. And as Kiera said, a lot of students were like, okay, this must be a hoax. Maybe our email box has been tampered with or something. There's no way that this is a real opportunity, even though Johnson C. Smith University sends out a number of wonderful opportunities for them. If I were a student at that time, I too probably would have thought that it was not real. But after we sent out those communications, our partners held a virtual interest session, I believe actually twice, answering questions for students and kind of alleviating some of that, is this a hoax type of thing. Then finally, we were able to develop an open house on campus, actually the first day of classes. Of course, that kind of sounds, I won't say unreal, but that's a long stretch when you're trying to get freshmen on campus and adjusted. You're trying to get your returning students back on campus. Faculty are there. You're still advising. You're answering questions. But we felt it was important for our students to see these partners on the first day to show that they were here and invested in their education. And so at this actual session, we were able to bring the power minds to begin the session with the students, which were, of course, the CEO, Rick Elias, and President Armbruster, speaking about this one-of-a-kind opportunity. And I think that truly sealed the deal with the students to say, okay, this is real, and this is something that I need to pay attention to. So with this collaboration and working with the president, I had to have a faculty member on board who could assist. And so I selected Dr. Lucinda Blue, who is our business administration department chair, but is also a committed alum of Johnson C. Smith University, to assist us. So she actually serves as the faculty member for this particular 3-credit-hour course. She works with the Red Ventures staff, who serve as lecturers for this special topics course offered during both semesters. And this ensures that we are adhering to the requirements associated with credentialing and instructing based upon university policy, as well as that of our accrediting body.
Awesome. Yes, Dr. Blue has been a tremendous help throughout this semester. So, Kaylin, of course, we know that Dr. Blue is not actually teaching this course because she has plenty of other things to do during her time. But walk us through, who are teaching the courses for our students.
Yeah, so with regard to that, we actually leveraged Red Ventures expertise. And I think that's one of the benefits of being housed on campus at Red Ventures is we're able to leverage a variety of resources that we normally wouldn't have access to. And so when it came to designing this course, we really leaned heavily on RV in that way. So each course topic has been designed and taught by a Red Ventures digital marketing professional. And so these experts are highly skilled in the core concepts they're discussing and deeply involved in the entire process. So they were in charge of designing the curriculum, instructing, observing, creating homework assignments, helping with the grading process. I think it also added another element of the fact that they're actually working today in this field. They're able to bring fresh perspective and knowledge and incorporate that into the course. And so it's been a really great way for RV employees to volunteer using their skills.
I think that's awesome. It's really cool to have an expert who is actually in this role teaching them the work, but then also giving them real work experience as far as real work situations and how to combat that before they even get into the workplace. So I think that's awesome. Braxton and Kiera, you being in the course, you've already went through a semester, you're almost done with your second semester, which is insane to think about, but I would love to hear a highlight and a challenge from this course.
A highlight from this course, I would say, will be going to like the campus, RV campus, and going to the all employee meetings. I had students asking me, was I at the draft? So like you could see how good those are. And then just the professional development that they give us every day. And then a challenge, I guess, would be is trying to grasp the broad subjects that they give us, because it is an accelerated program, but they do a good job of explaining everything that they want and need. And so they help us out a lot.
Awesome.
A highlight for me would have to be as well going to RV's campus. It is very huge, it is beautiful, and it's not like the typical workspace. A challenge for me would have to be, I had to step out of my comfort zone because I'm usually laid back and just focused on myself. But as a cohort, we had to focus on each other and help each other grow. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but it's great now.
Yes, and you all are doing very well in our program. Thank you. I think one of the beautiful aspects of our program is the opportunity and the ability to give mentors to our students. These mentors are digital marketing associates within Red Ventures, and so they're giving them experience from a digital marketing aspect, but then also professional development as well. And anything that our students need, the mentors are there to help that. So Kiera, Braxton, walk me through your mentor and mentee relationship that you have and what you've gained from that.
So to receive mentors, we had like a little mixer. So we had to go around and talk to everyone. When I met my mentor, that wasn't my mentor at the time, I knew that she was going to be my mentor. And I'm so happy that she's my mentor. She's great. Like, we talk about things from classwork to actual real life things. She actually cares about me as a student, and we're actually compatible. It's not just the awkward relationship. It's just, I'm thankful for her. I wish we would have had her sooner, but better late than never.
Yes, like Kiera said, we met him at a mixture. My mentor's name is Braden. We connected off of sports initially, so I knew it would be a good relationship. We talk every Friday, and I can call him anytime and ask him any question about any of his job responsibilities or anything he does outside of work. And he likes to see me grow, and I like to see him grow, and we could just talk on a normal basis.
That's awesome. Thank you for walking me through that there. So as we wrap up, I'd love to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned throughout the course, what have been some of our successes and challenges, and how might we change the program given what we've learned from this particular first year. So Kaylin, can you walk me through from your perspective some of the challenges and wins that we've seen from your
year? So, as you mentioned, we've learned a lot since kicking off the course since the first semester. There's definitely been a lot of key learnings throughout this process. Overall, it has been a huge success in our eyes. But I would say, just to kind of focus on some of the challenge areas and areas that we want to improve on with the next go around is time was a huge challenge. So we met the class met twice a week from 3 to 4:30. And so with that, we had to really adapt the teaching around the JCSU class schedule. And so it was a bit challenging because what we realized with the first semester was there was a lot of material to cover in a short time frame. And so we also realized that we needed more hands-on experience. And so that was something that we incorporated with second semester. Was we added once a month having a class on the Red Ventures campus to help give more time in the workplace and have it be more of an immersive experience. I would say the other piece is business knowledge. We realized that we needed to incorporate more business concepts into the lessons earlier on, because a lot of the digital marketing concepts required a strong knowledge in Excel. How are you building reports? How are you analyzing data? Business acumen, comfort and knowledge around building PowerPoint presentations. So presentations is a big piece of our program. So not only are you learning certain concepts and skills, but at the end and throughout the semester, there's an expectation to present back, whether that's an impromptu at the beginning of class, getting up and speaking on a certain topic, or if it's preparing for a final presentation at the end. That public speaking and the ability to take that into the workforce is a big learning of ours. So we've really realized we need to incorporate that public speaking piece as well. I'd say in terms of the wins, there are so many. It was really hard to kind of narrow it down to highlight today, but I would say first and foremost, the cross-sector partnership really was a success for us. We collaborated very closely with Dean McLean and Dr. Blue, really making sure that we were aligned on how we could best support the university and how Red Ventures could lean in and support the university and students learning. And so we were able to, again, look at what is JCSU already doing? Where are some of their needs? How can we insert ourselves and really supplement the curriculum that already exists to help better prepare students for careers when they're finished? I'd say number two, the student commitment. I've been so impressed by our students and their ability to push and to challenge themselves. This has not been an easy course. Right from the very beginning, it was communicated that we were going to treat them as if they were associates at Red Ventures, and I'm sure they would agree that we held true to that standard. And so it's been a tough course, but the workload and the pace, I think, has really prepared them for what to expect when they're finished. And then I would say adaptability. We, again, we believe everything is written in pencil. The culture of Red Ventures has, spilled into the culture of Road to Hire, which is spilled into the culture of JCSU Fellowship. And so that's allowed us to pivot our program, pivot our learning based on what we're seeing, where are the gaps, where are the opportunities, and really kind of tweak the curriculum in that way. And so that's really been an added plus for us. And then I would say lastly, we've been super intentional with our program. One area is around mentorship, as shared before. We learned, this has been a big win for us. It's also it was an opportunity area the first semester. We did not incorporate the mentorship right from the beginning. I think if we could do that over again, we would, just to have that additional layer of support with the learning. But it's been a big win and a highlight, and it's really nice to see that the students are able to build relationships with Red Ventures employees who are really excited and committed to dedicating their time to help further their education.
Awesome. Dean McLean, I would love to hear from your end, some of the key learnings or takeaways from this program.
Well, of course, I wholeheartedly agree with everything that Kaylin said. When you gave me this question, a lot of what I wanted to say corresponded with what she just stated. But I'll say this opportunity has shown a lot of light on areas where we as a university may want to review and alter some of the topics that we cover and objectives in our courses to align with some of the feedback we're receiving firsthand from this business partner collaboration, as well as from other opportunities that we are receiving from business partners in the community. She spoke about how PowerPoint and Excel are critical in these roles, and we know that technology plays more and more of a role in the workforce. And though we offer maybe the basic level of PowerPoint and Excel, we need to go into detail and make sure that we're using those particular platforms for students to complete activities and courses and make themselves more familiar with those types of things, or even making some cross-curriculum courses to ensure that they're getting those particular skills that they need embedded or further developed. Also, as Kaylin has spoken about, just using the expertise and transparency and collaboration has been a win-win for this partnership. When I say expertise, you have two different powerhouses coming together to create an opportunity for students and future leaders. And we each own our own respective venues. But through transparency, we were able to listen and hear what the other can bring. And there may have been times that we had to agree to disagree and really rely on each other's expertise to help us move this opportunity forward. Because as we say at Johnson C. Smith University, we were building this plane as we were flying. So there has to be a trust factor in all that you're doing, because at the end of the day, it is our students who are being impacted, and we wanted to ensure that they were being impacted positively from us as their JCSU family through this extended family of Red Venture. And this great collaboration has provided what we see here. We have only 2 of the 13 individuals who are reaching their goal of completing both semesters successfully and will graduate in May, though may not take part physically in a commencement, but they will complete their requirements at Johnson C. Smith University, and at the same time complete the requirements for their new employment opportunity with Road to Hire. So when you have 2 different entities coming together collectively for the benefit of the students, it's always a win.
Awesome. So we've talked about, the history of Road to Hire and the history of Johnson C. Smith. We talked about how this partnership has come to be. We even talked about some of the details about the program. We've heard from Kiera and Braxton on mentorship and what they've learned through this. But I think everyone is wanting to know what's next on the horizon for this particular partnership. So is there any sneak peeks, Kaylin, that you can give us to let us know what's coming up next for not only cohort, this group we have now, but things to come?
Yeah. So it is an exciting time with our cohort 1. So the students who we currently have, I mentioned this earlier, but those who pass this course with a B and above will receive an offer. And they will be starting their work at Red Ventures as digital marketing associates this summer. So that is super exciting. Everyone on the RV side and at Road to Hire are very excited to be welcoming this group in. I would say in terms of next steps, we are actually gearing up for the launch of our second course, our second cohort, which will actually, we've tweaked it a little bit. And again, this goes back to taking the key learnings from year 1 and adapting and making it better. So we're looking at focusing on having this be a business analyst course. And so it will launch in June with a summer fellowship. And the reason why we're doing that is we realize that we need more hands-on time with the students outside of the traditional class schedule. So we're making it an internship. So it will be a paid internship, 10 weeks, starting in June. Our plan is to hopefully have it, once we get through this challenging time, to have it take place on campus. And it will focus on the business fundamentals. So we'll touch on Excel, we'll touch on finance, project management, digital marketing. Again, we'll incorporate some tech elements as well. And again, this is as a result of seeing not only what the job demand is in Charlotte, but also what we're seeing are areas of opportunity to help continue to educate students and prepare them so that they're ready for careers in whatever industry they go into. So we are super excited, very eager to continue this partnership together and to explore ways that we can collaborate and support JCSU.
That is awesome. That is super exciting. I can't wait to see what this program will be. Before we get into the question and answer portion, I would love to hear any last thoughts from the JCSU perspective. So from Dean McLean, Braxton, Kira, any last thoughts about this program?
I'll let the students go first because they are very important.
About the program, I'm just happy that I'm involved in it. The opportunity, it was there, and most of us in the class, we took advantage. It started out with 20, I think we're down to 12, so you can see how kind of challenging the class could be, but at the end, it'll be beneficial to you. And so everybody should just be grateful for it, and hopefully they see us at Rare Ventures in May.
I would just say that I am thankful and grateful because there's not always a lot of opportunities for students with the business marketing concentration. So this just fell right into my lap at the right time. So very grateful.
And I think this is a wonderful way for us to wrap up. As Kiara spoke at the beginning, I actually ran into her on our yard. It was a group of them, and they were skeptical about this, but Kiara just gives an example of how if you just take that first step, you never know what opportunity may unfold. And we just are showing you all two of our many students who took that one step truly out on faith to see what opportunities would unfold. And so it has it that not only have they been able to see what they've learned in the classrooms over their time at Johnson C. Smith, but also how it correlates and responds to what is expected of them in the workforce. And furthermore, they are now preparing to be employed, where we have a number of students who graduate and do not know what their next step may be. So I must say, I'm grateful for the Road to Hire partnership. As Kaylin mentioned, everything is written in pencil. And when you're working with students, it's important to make sure that you put certain things in pencil, because a lot of times we as academicians and also business partners, we have this one lens of how we feel things should be. But it's important for students to see that we have listened to them, and we are listening to them and learning from them to better what we are preparing for them. So I'm looking forward to this new opportunity, especially with us beginning the second cohort in the summer, that will give the students ample opportunity to grow and learn at their cutting edge. So thank you.
Absolutely. And this concludes our portion of the presentation, but we'll love to open up the chat and hear some of the questions that you guys may have for us.
So it looks like there's one question that's already come through. It says, for the students, what is the single most important aspect of the exposure to the business environment and your mentor that you will be able to implement throughout your life?
The single most important aspect that I would be able to implement would be, there's always room for growth. So if you're comfortable, that means you're not growing. So uncomfortable situations put you, even though it's uncomfortable, it puts you in a space to grow. So in the business world, it's always best to be uncomfortable.
They give us a lot of real life experience, going out to the campus and then going from the class into the field, basically, with the presentations that they give us. They give us a lot of speaking things that we have to do, like presentations before class, during class. So it just helps us grow our confidence. And so I think that's what we need during the business environment.
Another question that we have is, putting your consultant hat on, I know a lot of HBCUs would be looking for similar programs. How would you recommend other HBCUs reach out to companies like Red Venture to get a program like this started on their campus, and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, one immediate thought that comes to mind is that a lot of there are a number of cities, I think, around the country that have workforce development programs. And within those workforce development programs, there are typically businesses who are supporting that in some capacity, whether that's just like Road to Hire or it could be in another element. So I would probably look to aligning with the city, seeing what companies are involved in workforce development programs, how they're collaborating, and then go from there, because typically companies who are involved in workforce development programs have some sort of internal system and structure in place to help explore creative ways to recruit students and prospective employees. So I would say that might be a good place to start.
Okay. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. For both students, what would you tell other students about considering a program like this? How has it helped you?
For students considering the program, I would tell them like take advantage of it, because you never know what can happen. Like meet mentors. It's all about networking, and you learn that from your freshman, sophomore years. And how's it helped me? I would say it's grown my confidence. I could say probably at the beginning of this first semester, I would not be on this conference call speaking to y'all. It helped me grow and speak to a larger population of people. So I mean, grow my confidence in that way. So
for me, I would tell students this program, sometimes you just have to take, like Dr. McClain said, a leap of faith. Even though your surrounding students and classmates may not always want to do what you want to do, if you're interested, I mean, just go for it. Just hear what they have to say. And if it doesn't work out, you tried. But it could always, you don't never want to have that thought of, man, what if I would have did this? I could have did that too, once you see everyone else doing something that was offered to you as well. And the program has helped me just step out of my comfort zone more and be the leader that I already was, but it just made me do it from the jump and not wait for someone to tell me to be the leader.
Okay. Another question, how can a company in the cybersecurity space become a business partner in the program?
Yeah, so what we've seen with Road to Hire and working with our employer partners has been really important to connect with the HR business partners, because they're really the kind of the entry point into the company to look at how to align with businesses in the community and how to bring candidates into the company. And so one key learning that we've really walked away with has been making sure that our training is we're mapping our training to the needs on the business side. And so if you can meet with an HR business partner at a company in your community and you find out, okay, what are you hiring for? What are the main roles that you're looking for? What are those key skill sets? And if you can take that entry-level position that aligns with a department or courses that you're offering at the university, and if you can make sure that you're building in those key skills, those core concepts that are required and necessary to successfully transition into a role at that company, and build that into the course, build that into the curriculum, then it creates kind of like a seamless pipeline. And companies then say, oh, wow, this university is really preparing students for all of the different qualifications that we're looking for. That kind of helps bridge the gap. I think also touching on ways that employees at a business can volunteer their time. So typically we think of, volunteering your time out in the community, doing different types of community service, but another way to volunteer time is skills-based volunteering. And that is leveraging one's expertise and their skills in a certain area and give back in that way. And so that's really how we've leveraged the instructors, and the teaching piece is through volunteers who have given some of their time, and they're teaching specific topics along the way. So if you're able to leverage maybe your own instructors who can teach and volunteers on the business side and align in that way, then again, that will help to make sure that your program is really preparing students for roles which they could move into at a certain company.
Okay. Question just came in. Is this program, is there any data right now that's showing that this program is helping Red Ventures diversify their workforce?
So we have, with Johnson C. Smith University, this is our first partnership. So more to come there. But in terms of being at Road to Hire, we have, since launching, I would say we have roughly 50 individuals working in tech. So whether that's software engineering or IT at Red Ventures. And so in that sense, we've been able to diversify the workforce at Red Ventures, having individuals from a variety of different backgrounds and walks of life into the company, which has helped us think creatively, differently, adding new, fresh perspectives, which has been really important. And it's helped make our culture even stronger, because we are collaborating just across in different ways. So it's definitely been a positive impact within Red Ventures as well as Road to Hire.
And if I may add, as the business partner from the outside that had to do, the kind of research to see what was this organization all about, even prior to the meeting that I held with the president and the Red Venture team, I'm a native Charlottean, so I would always go back to my local high school and talk about opportunities at Johnson C. Smith University. However, when I was there speaking about opportunities at JCSU, there was also a setup from Red Ventures Road to Hire. And they always spoke to those students many times who were not thinking about going to college. Not that students didn't have what it would take to succeed in college, but they may have just been a first generation college student. And so once I heard about that, and then I saw what Red Ventures wanted to do with us, and then actually going to their actual site prior to the collaboration with our students, when you walk in, you not only see the diversity and inclusion, but you feel it as well. You can see that they are invested in ensuring that all walks of life have an opportunity to better themselves through their various organizations and their structures. So even though there may not be data at this time, it's evidenced through their actual content and through their actual facility that seeing is believing.
Thank you. We're not going to have time to get to all of our questions, but we will send out answers to all of these questions in subsequent information. So we'll do two more. This first one is for our students. What about the communication that was sent via email regarding the opportunity jumped out and made you go and find more? What communication platforms do you think students utilize more and really pay more attention to on campus?
The communication had a number about the salary, the starting salary. So initially as a student, that's the first thing that I looked at.
That's always important.
Yeah, it is. So that's the first thing that I saw, and I was just like, that's why I thought it was fake, because most students don't make that coming out of college. And communication skills that are better access to students, I would say Twitter and Instagram, because we're always on our phones. So if we were to see something like that and scroll through, we would stop rather than to look at an email.
Yeah, the email, it just wasn't regarding to like an intern opportunity. It also gave you the salary, which most jobs don't. So I guess that's why most people went for it, most people didn't. And communication platforms, Twitter, and then Road to Hire, they just introduced us to Slack. So I think that could grow and be utilized more.
And if I may add from the academic perspective, it's critical to listen to what students are saying. So if you follow me, I call myself the unconventional dean, and you will see me on Twitter, and you will see me on Instagram, and you will see me posting things about what we have going on. And students tend to be attracted to that because it lets them know that I'm not somebody that sits high and looks low, but I'm actually engaging with them, working to try to get on their level and help them get the information that they need.
Thank you. And can you give that Twitter handle one more time?
You want mine or you want one?
Yours, please. Yes, because I want to make sure everybody has a chance. Is that the unconventional dean?
No, my Twitter handle is UNC12KO97. And okay. my Instagram, and I'll send this out, but my Instagram is the same thing.
All right. Our final question is kind of, where we want to go. For all of our panelists, where do we see this program in 10 years? Where would you like to see it go?
Oh, wow. I'm going to start, if y'all don't mind.
Go for it.
So I know Red Venture Road to Hire has various sites. I would love to see us broaden the opportunity for students to have broad opportunities. Many of our Johnson C. Smith University students, some have never really traveled. Not that they don't want to, but they just may not have been afforded the opportunity. And so I think starting here and upscaling for our students to have the opportunity to even maybe do a semester at another location, being that we have online learning now. I think that would be amazing. I would love to see as many of our students, and I'm going to highlight my area from the business area, have as many intern opportunities as they can afford, because many of our college students have not worked in a business arena. Many have worked in retail and fast food. And so it's a step up. It's a different perspective, and as Kiera talked about, you have to get uncomfortable with being comfortable, and I think that would be something that I could foresee. Maybe at least in 10 years we will be at least 5 of their sites.
I love that idea. So just to add to that, I would say that one thing that we've learned is that there's a lot of different industries and kind of tracks that we can take it. And so whether that's focusing just on digital marketing, whether that is building out a business analyst course, whether it be cyber, I think there are a number of different types of courses that we can launch with JCSU on their campus for students across different colleges and universities. We started with digital marketing because of Red Venture's expertise and the fact that we are hiring digital marketing associates. And so that's really where we started. But if we think about not just having Red Venture be an employer partner with JCSU, but to have other companies in the community committed and on board, that opens up a variety of employment opportunities. And so I think aligning, kind of matching together the employment opportunities with where JCSU is already, focused on from a curriculum standpoint, bringing more employer partners on board would be a big win for us. I would also say building out our internship experience. And so we're testing it out this summer, but building that up to have it be more immersive and more hands-on, and possibly leveraging other RV sites in the process would be very exciting.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head there, Kaylin. Exactly what I was going to say as well. One thing that I've learned about not only Red Ventures, but also Road to Hire is that we move at a very, very fast pace. So when you think of 10 years, this thing could be, you could be enormous. I think one thing that Kaylin mentioned, that it will be similar to our Road to Hire program, where we actually are bringing in different partners. Because one thing I love about Road to Hire and Red Ventures is that we do not believe that it's just our responsibility for corporate or social responsibility. So we want to bring in other partners to help that. And for Red Ventures, Road to Hire, and JCSU to be that core, and to also help other HBCUs with saying like, hey, look, this is the opportunity that we have. These are other partners that we have to help with all of the students. And like you mentioned, we have different locations within Red Ventures all around the world, and to be able to provide them internships or studying abroad at our Brazil location or studying abroad at our UK location, to give them those opportunities that a lot of students don't actually have while they're in college, and to be able to either put that on their resume or secure them a job early before they start. Whether that's going to be, right now we have it senior year. Do we go from freshman year, walk them all the way through their college career?
I'm already thinking that. I'm already thinking
so there's so many different things that we can do. And one thing I love about the partnership and the minds that we have, they were always thinking ahead. So who knows where we'll be in 10 years, and I can't wait to see it. And I know a lot of the students that we have now will be mentors in our program moving forward. So it's exciting to see.
And with that, I'd like to reframe the question for our two students. Because of this program, where do you see yourselves in 10 years?
Because of this program, in 10 years, I see myself being not only a businesswoman, but an entrepreneur. So I'm going to take my skills that I learned in the workforce and maybe branch out one day to start something that's bigger than me, like a mentorship or maybe my own business, because I'll know how to run a business inside out. So it's definitely a stepping stone.
In 10 years, I can see myself definitely being a mentor for Red Ventures, but I can also see myself being a coach and coming from the business world to the sports world. I think it would be a good translation, as Red Ventures, they've grown my confidence to, speak to masses of people and also be critical and also be open to feedback from others. So I think it would translate well.
Well, I would, on behalf of HBCUgrow and everybody listening to our virtual conference today, I'd like to virtually thank all of our panelists. Can we thank all of our panelists virtually? This has been a great way to kick off today's conference. Please feel free to go. I call my kitchen the cafeteria now. Please feel free to go to the cafeteria, grab a cup of coffee, do what you need to do, and we will be right back at 10:20. Again, thank you all for participating in HBCUgrow, and this is going to be a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Thank you.